only got a little time left. Oh, all right. So I've been doing this for a few days. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Turn on the light. So I think I almost got it down, and I think a lot of the things I went through the last few days. So I probably have a solid, man, I would say like 6 hours on this. And the first day, all I did was, well, not all I did was this, but basically the first 30, 45 minutes or so, I just got on it and got the feeling of stabilizing it in between my legs and just kind of going back and forth, because I don't think when you're on this for the first few hours, you're not gonna know where the preferable spot to put your feet is as well, because at this point I just jump on it, and then if it feels right, I keep my foot there. If it doesn't, I just kind of like shift it a little bit. But I think this is like the perfect amount. If you can see, my calves are touching it, but I was riding this or trying with this using the knee guards, the knee pads, but honestly, that after I took them off and just kind of riding around like this, it feels so much better without the pads for now. It's harder to feel the where it's at with the pads on, but I spent the first few hours just going back and forth, getting this feeling. And I think this is probably the most important part. This is pretty much when you're pretty much getting in sync with your EUC, because you can really feel the forward momentum, the backward momentum, and doing this, I can already feel like my body getting more in sync with the machine and how it accelerates, how it goes back, and just keeping it stabilized between my legs. My legs have been jello after the first few hours, but you know what, I'm just gonna power through it. And I think once my body gets in sync with this machine, it's gonna feel a lot more natural. So I've just been going back and forth. And honestly, doing this for several hours, there's times where I just felt like I can't even move the machine back and forth. It's not going straight no more, it's just kind of wobbling. But I think that's just from fatigue. I just feel like you need to just keep doing it until your body gets in sync with it. And I should be taking a lot more breaks, but I feel like I'm close. And once I can get it, I don't really have to use that much leg work, if that makes sense. Like once you know which muscle to use, I don't think it's gonna be that much more difficult to start riding. So I have these chairs set up like this, so I can go back and forth. Let me see if I can't even get over here easily. But I did practice like kind of falling off, like getting off and on. What I found difficult was just to even get this fucking thing straight. Like it's so heavy. So I think finally, now my leg is getting strong enough. So like right now, I don't have the leg power to push it back. Like my leg needs to be like up here to make it go this way, but I just don't have that power yet. Alright. Let's go back and forth. Oh, getting on is difficult too. Like, getting on, you really want to be able to have this leg support your whole weight while hopping on. Like, that's fucking crazy, right? This thing is heavy. 41 pounds is pretty fucking heavy. Especially when it feels like all the weight is up here. So, I have been doing like calf raises while working out to build some calves, because I know this thing was gonna beat me up. So getting on really super difficult. I still use support, but you know, I'm gonna try to get on without it. See, I still need the support. But it's like jumping, it's like you're hopping on but not putting any weight on this. Because if you put weight on this, it's gonna immediately go that way. It's like hopping on while keeping this leg position. Okay, I'm not ready for it yet, but I feel like I'm close. So, kind of just hop around, see what feels comfortable before I start practicing again. And this feels about right. And before I practice, I like to just kind of wiggle back and forth. And then, so when you wiggle back and forth and you start to move forward, you can hold that position. So just going back and forth, I'm finally able to kind of go straight. Before, I was just wobbling all over the place, but I think I'm getting it. It's finally clicking right now. So I decided to start recording as soon as it starts clicking in my head. I had a lot of issues just going forward, like putting the weight forward. But now that I've taken the pads off, the knee pads, I feel like I can actually move this thing now. So I don't know if, I guess putting the knee pads on is good to begin, but to actually learn this thing, I couldn't do it with the knee pads on. Because now I can actually feel it, even though